Okay, so like I said, this is kind of a basic rundown of like the puppet kind of style of animation. Um, so what you're seeing here is this isn't like the the best way I'm finding to build a rig. One of our other interns is kind of helping me out on that. Usually when I've done it, it's been really kind of simple stuff, and he's kind of been telling me that there's like a really in-depth kind of a way to do it, but this is like a really kind of a basic starting point. So I'll kind of go over this, and then I'll show you a scene that I've been working on, and kind of show you like how to actually use it in an animation. So basically, what we have here, I have all my reference images and stuff here around the sides that I'll use to trace and make all the angles and stuff. So first, to start off with the head. Let me see here. What layer all this stuff is on. So I'll start off with the head, like this, and you make that a symbol. The shortcut for that is F8. Turns stuff into symbols. So once you turn things to a symbol, then you kind of start drawing within that symbol and everything that's within it. I don't know if you're familiar with symbols, using symbols at all. But so then,
yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. Okay. So basically, it's kind of just like a parent. So then everything that's within the symbol is going to move and animate as a whole. So if I move the head, everything in the head moves here.
Yeah.
So that's that's pretty basic stuff. So then, like I said, so how I have this set up is each part of the head is like a different symbol. So like each ear is a separate symbol on the same layer down here. I didn't name any of these. Usually I do name the layers just so I know what what it is. But so then we have the mouth here. And if you click into the mouth, then I have like an upper part of the mouth and a lower part back like the underside of the jaw back here. And then if you go into the mouth again, then I have all the mouth shapes for like lip sync stuff. So all that's ready. So it's like the nesting, concept where if something is attached to something, then you nest it within that next level of the object, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So like I said, so all this stuff is on a layer, and then that's all within the head, and then I have the body here. These I haven't gotten to kind of get the hierarchy on. I just kind of started drawing stuff, but generally like all the hands will be in one nested hand.
Like the mouth.
Yeah. So it'll be exactly like the mouse. So like all the hands will be in one symbol, and then basically what you do is you set the symbol over here. If you see down in here in the corner, it says options loop. So if you click the symbol and click down here, you can choose how that symbol kind of operates. So you can have it loop. So like when you hit enter and it plays, it'll just continue whatever kind of animation or action that symbol is doing. Or you can have it play once, so like what I was saying about the hands is so like all that would be in one hand. Then you can come down here and select what you want it to be. And stuff for hands, you would do a single frame, so that when you're going through an animation and the hands change, so it would go from like an open palm like this to a fist or something, then all you need to do is go to this little box here and put the frame number of what hand shape or position it is, and then that will play in the animation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you do the same with the feet and that kind of stuff. So then, so for hands and feet, mouths, anything that like really changes shape that much like that, you would do something along those lines, because it's far easier to do it that way, and less confusing. And then like I said, like with legs and things like that, you don't really need it because legs aren't ever going to change shape. So that's not quite necessary for those body parts. But yeah, so this is kind of the basic setup for like a character rig in Flash. Generally, we do things kind of like how you're used to doing it, like a frame by frame kind of a basis. But for this project, we have like a handful of people, working on stuff, and certainly not, speaking negatively about anybody, but everybody kind of has their own style and things like that, and sometimes it's not the easiest thing to maintain consistency with characters throughout, like a long piece, especially if we have like 6 or 7 people working on different scenes. So the way that I'm combating that is to have these character packs, at least for the main characters, so that those are consistent throughout every shot that they're in, and everybody can use them that way, and and we just won't have any issues. So I'm trying to get these built. I'm actually, and like I said, I have another intern / contractor that is helping me on this. He has a lot more experience building rigs and stuff like that than I do. So he's a big help for sure, and I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, so like I said, so this is pretty much the bare bones for a character build. Nothing, like I said, it's really not that difficult. It takes a little while to to kind of get everything set up, but really once you do, then it's a pretty straightforward process. So I'll go into my scene here that I've been working on a couple days ago, and so basically, I have all these characters in one symbol. Let me turn this off real quick, the audio, so I don't get blasted by that. So all of these guys are in one large symbol, as you can see. So when it plays, everything moves as one, and I can do like a camera pan, which is what this is. As we kind of move across all these characters and land on our main character Joe here. So what I did is I went in. Each of these 4 characters that I have done so far are on a different layer.
Yeah.
So we'll go into our book reader here, and so he's his own layer, or his own symbol of everything, and then I have different layers for things that are going to be moving. Like I said, for these kind of like arbitrary characters, it's not entirely necessary to do all of the nesting and all that kind of stuff that we would do for like our main characters. So this guy, like his body is all of this. Like his collar, shoulders down to his feet, and this forearm here, and this part of the book. None of that is moving. All of it's stationary. So I just made all of that one whole thing.
Okay.
And then everything is then broken up into layers accordingly. after that. So the head is on a separate layer because the head does move, um, and and then all the different parts of the head are going to be on different layers as well. So I have the whole head is on the bottom layer. Then I have his eye here, which I have sequences for blinks and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then glasses, and then an eyebrow. His eyebrow, goes up and down and that kind of stuff. So that'll be the head, and then since all that stuff is within it, then I can add extra little animations like him, moving his head up a little bit, moving it back down, that kind of stuff, and it'll all just include everything, all the animation within that head symbol. And then this is the back arm. So, like I said, so the whole arm is everything here. This is the upper arm, is on the lower layer, and the next layer up is our forearm with the hand symbol within that, and then if you, like I had said before, so here's my nested hand shapes.
Okay.
So this is the hand behind the book as he's reading it, when he's reaching out for the next page, and then when he grabs the next page. So then when I actually animate that, I'll animate that hand movement within this symbol, and then the forearm movement within this symbol, and then when everything is as far out as you can go, then you get that. So does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so like I said, it takes a little bit, like I know I've said before, like it takes a little bit to kind of get everything set up. But once you do, it's a pretty simple, kind of a process, and especially for these kind of characters where, like I said, they're kind of arbitrary. It doesn't really matter about going into that much detail like you would here.
Yeah.
Then you can kind of break things up as you need them to be. So like with this girl, I have like her lower legs are on a separate layer because she is going to be like rocking her foot back and forth here. And the nice thing about the symbols and stuff like that is, so I only have her foot move out and then back, but how the symbol acts, like I said over here, it says the loop. So even though I only have that much animation, it will continue that on, for as long as the symbol is, frames. As long as however many frames you have, it'll just keep repeating that action, so that you don't have to, copy frames or keep animating stuff like that. You can just animate like that one cycle of it, and it'll just keep repeating. So symbols are really useful that way. And then, like I said, so there's other things. So I have her head symbol, and she's doesn't have a whole lot in here. She's got like a little eyebrow movement, and actually I think that's about it for her. She doesn't really do too much. And I have like little headphone wires. I don't know if you can really tell what that is quite yet without me having colored it, but and those move just a little bit, not a whole lot. So I'll show you the little baby here too. So he's kicking his feet and slapping his hands on the armrests and stuff like that. So again, it's all using the same idea of you make your initial drawing, symbolize that, and then you break each part that's going to be moving. Anything that moves needs to be a symbol, basically. Another thing that I will mention real quick is when you do make a symbol like the head, for instance. When you make it, and if you hit Q, that kind of brings up your like little transform box, and you can set your pivot point, which is really it sounds really like mundane, but it's really critical that you make sure you set your pivot points properly, because if you move it to, or if it's just left in the middle or something, and I guess it's not really going to make any kind of difference on this particular model. But if you have it in the middle and you try to animate like a head, for instance, moving around the neck, then when you try to animate it and you create tweens and stuff like that, the head's gonna like jump all over the place, because it's trying to use that pivot point from the middle of the head, as opposed to like where the head would actually move from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just gonna like jump all over the place, or it's gonna like slide in some weird in some weird direction, and then when it gets to like the end of the tween, it'll snap back to the position you had set it to.
Oh yeah.
So like I said, so when you make a symbol, and you have all of this stuff set in it, just make sure that before you do any tweening, like what all this is down here, make sure you set that pivot point. So all that is consistent throughout the whole timeline. Because I know, and I've learned this too just from trial and error. Like if you have your are you familiar with tweening at all?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have your tweens set like this, and you have them all done, and somewhere in there you remembered to move the pivot point, then it's going to have the same effect like I had said before. So it's gonna act all funky, because all of a sudden it's got this new spot that it's trying to animate the motion from. So then it's just going to jump all over the place. So before you do any kind of tweening or anything like that, just like I said, just make sure that you have that pivot point set to where all that's going to move. So like for the elbows and stuff, or for the forearms, I have it set like here at the elbow, because that's where all that movement is coming from. But yeah, so that's about everything as far as like the puppeting stuff goes. Because really, from then on, it's just like the same principles as regular animation. It all implies or employs like timing and kind of the easy ins and outs and squash and stretch and all that kind of stuff. So it's just just using just a different method to do all that kind of same stuff.
Okay.
So, do you have any questions for me, or?
No.
Okay. Cool. Well, like I said, that'll probably be it for this little run through. I can get a little assignment here ready for you.
Okay.
And send it your way, and then I'll be here at the studio probably till 4:30ish or 5 or something like that. So if you have any questions, you can hit me up on Skype, or you can email or anything like that, and I will do my best to give you a timely response, and help you out if you need anything. But like I said, really once you get everything set up, it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy, and you can just go from there. So I don't think you'll have any problems with anything, but just in case you do, I'll be here for you.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. So okay, man. Let me get something set up for you, and I'll probably just send it over Skype. It'll be easier. So just be looking out for that, probably like another 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
All right, dude. Then I'll just talk to you later.
All right. See you.